Welcome everyone. The arrival of the HBO Max original series Dune Prophecy premiered on this year, November 17th. The saga is about to undergo its first true stress test. While I am absolutely excited to return to this universe of high stakes, intrigue, and political dominance over millennia, there's some caution that accompanies my enthusiasm. This will be my Dune Prophecy trailer breakdown video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. As you can see in the first footage from the Dune Prophecy, we are about to learn the story of how the mythical Bene Gesserit were formed. Long before the era of Rebecca Ferguson's Lady Jessica, the group of women with supernatural abilities who covertly exert their influence over the entire Dune universe from the shadows. This prequel is set 10,000 years before the birth of her son, the main fated to rule the galaxy. And as we have come to learn throughout the first two Dune movies, the Harkonnens are at the center of it all. This time, Velia, acting by Emily Watson, and Tula Harkonnen, Olivia Williams, are the players who will shape the world to come. Their efforts to form the Bene Gesserit will ultimately change the universe, and knowing what's coming ahead of will surely tinge the action and deceit we get above. However, there's another factor that's going to test just how well Dune Prophecy is received by the world, and much like its cinematic predecessor, it all lies in the series' source material. Speaking to the crowd at New York Comic Con, the showrunner Alice Shepard teased a series that will reveal more about the mysterious Bene Gesserit beyond what we see in the movies. In the films, they are very much in their full power and they are making their moves. But they are clocked in a kind of intrigue, she said. One of the great things about the series is we certainly don't want to take away their mystique, but we do go behind their closed doors and see how they operate. The show also reveals the beginning of the epic feud between House Harkonnen and House Atreides. How did that feud start? Shaker said, how did that become so entrenched? That's something we are going to be exploring. In the original Frank Herbert novel and film adaptations, the Harkonnens are the villains. Fans will recall Stellan Skarsgård's memorable portrayal of the horrifying evil Vladimir Harkonnen in 2021's Dune. But in the show, the Harkonnens are our main characters. Emily Watson and Olivia Williams star as a pair of Harkonnen siblings leading the Sisterhood, the organization that eventually will become the Bene Gesserit. Prophecy takes place at a time when the Harkonnens are not quite the more monstrous version of that you see 10,000 years later. The Shaker said, though they are still not the people with tremendous force and willingness to go to great lengths to achieve their goals. Watson said she loved playing Velia Harkonnen, a character from truly recognizably messed up family. Velia is set on determining the right path for humankind, she teased. Williams, meanwhile, referenced the upcoming presidential election as she said that the show, with its focus on the shadow Bene Gesserit, raises the idea that it's not necessarily the people who are standing at the podium, but the people who are standing a few steps behind, signaling with their fingers, are the ones you need to watch out for. The series picks up on the other side of the rise of artificial intelligence, beginning in the shadow of a war that ended with all AI thinking machines being outlawed. Shaker explained, does that mean they are not floating around the universe in various ways? Who knows, she said. But in general, humans have had to strive to fill the void things she used to be performed by technology. Now humans are coming to try to push the boundaries of what it means to be human forwarded so they can fill that gap. It let us ask questions about the role of technology in a new way. Executive producer Jonathan Goldberg added that humans have been oppressed by technology for so long when the series begins. But the show explores the question, now that humanity is free, will they destroy themselves? The Sisterhood is a kind of acting as a guardrail against that. Fans should expect to see some familiar elements from these films, including spies. We are showing a recreational world built around people using spies and synthetics based on spies, Goldberg said. And yes, there will be sandworms. We were bringing all the big guns out, he said. But one difference from the movies, Williams said she and her co-stars didn't have to brave the desert like their movie counterparts. Though that's not to say they didn't have their filming challenges. If you are expecting sand and heat and blue skies, we are on very damn planet, which involved a man with a backpack full of water, and he would pump it and then he would spray us down so that we were slightly damp all the time, she said, quipping. The other cast in Dennis films would campaign about how hot it was in Jordan. It's like, yeah, we'll just try being damp in tunnel in Hungary. So I am still a novice when it comes to the world of Frank Herbert Dune saga. But there's one thing you and I understand in this early phase. The prequels and sequels written by Brad Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson are mixed bag, which leads to the great test of how Warner Bros. Adaptation of Dune universe will fare as a prophecy takes its cues from Herbert and Anderson 2012 novel Sisterhood of Dune. On the bright side, Dune writer John Spades is a part of the team that's working on Dune Prophecy's adaptations. So there's obviously an eye towards continuity and working this part of legacy into the mix in a way that will complement the films. But there's still a question of whether or not die-hard fans of Frank Herbert novels will take to the series in the way that the folks at Warner Bros. Discovery hope they will. Thanks.